Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in our Ultimate Base 3.0. In the previous episode we took care of this module right here, which is a replacement for Liam's current living situation. Today, however, I want to focus on ONI a little bit. In particular, we're going to focus on this gold volcano, and we're going to try to come up with a simple solution that might or might not work. I have used various gold volcano tamer designs in the past. They have been successful, but I usually tend to not build the same designs over and over. Well, that is not true for everything, but it's going to be true in this case. Basically, what I would like to try is, could we go ahead and just tame this with a simple aqua tuner design, a little bit of clever logic and arrangement of machinery. What I'm doing right now is taking away all the debris so we can actually get started with this build. Let me see what we have in terms of materials. We might actually need, yeah, we do need a lot of materials. We don't even have the steel, if I'm not mistaken. We only have 1 ton of steel. Yeah, so we first have to take care of that actually. So I think I want to get started by dismantling a couple of things here, especially the cabling. Yeah, let's reroute this a little bit. This is gonna go straight down for now, and then we'll be able to get rid of the rest. From the looks of it, Hassan is gonna take a cycle or two to actually finish this work, but it is definitely gonna be worth it. Otherwise we have to do it later on when we activate the design, and that is just not gonna be convenient. And I also made sure to actually store the bleach stone submerged in the storage bin because it was just getting out of hand with all the chlorine. A very toxic world, I have to say. We're also gonna install a bottle emptier to sweep only in order to get rid of these bottles. To be honest, for now, I would like to see a quick and dirty delivery system. So we're gonna have our beacon right here. This is gonna make sure it lands somewhere on the floor, and we're maybe gonna install a payload opener right over there. For now, we're gonna do this manually. There we go. Volcano is cleared up. Let's now go ahead, build this targeting beacon and everything, take apart the rocket platform, then we can send over the necessary materials to do this build. In the meantime, on Crudial, we're making good progress. Wow, this is gonna be a very dark base. And maybe I need to exchange the sandstone tiles here in the center. Wonderful. I would say this is good enough. Let's switch to the main planetoid and send over some materials. I reserved this guy here for the third planetoid, so let's switch that to ONI and also fill up the conveyor loader with some goodies. The first few tons are going to be dedicated to steel, so let's make sure that actually happens. And I also want to set the limit to 200 units because that is what we can shoot at maximum with the interplanetary launcher. Also, what other materials are we gonna require? I mean, steel, we don't actually need that much with the contraption I have in mind. The only thing we would need is for an aqua tuner. So would it be worth sending over some ceramic? I don't think so. 8.5 tons I have. Like, it could be useful for certain blocks. Let's think about that first, maybe. Igneous rock, I'm gonna use for the rest. So ceramic tile, this one here could be a good one. Let's just go ahead and do the outline, and then I'm gonna explain what I actually intend to do with it. So all the insulation that potentially touches the molten gold, I would like to be out of ceramic, which is gonna be this tile here and potentially this tile. I'm not exactly sure how it's working when it actually spills over the edge, but my intention is to make a room below this. So we're gonna have to dig all of this up, and this is gonna continue. In the spirit of experimentation, I believe we aren't at risk of making these out of normal insulated tiles, which means igneous rock. And only this one here is going to be ceramic, and even that is not necessary technically. But let's go ahead, build the lower room. How large do I want this? If I can do it within 3 tiles, that would be great, which would make the entire room this size. So let's actually try to build that. I'm going to leave some spaces open, such as this guy here, and then maybe we dig a little bit down. Actually, let's do that, and then maybe set up an obsidian ladder here, and now we should be able to reach everything. So with the outline done, basically my intention is the molten gold should dribble down here into a pool of salt water, which is what we have available here. The salt water is gonna be pumped out in case it is getting a little bit too hot, and over here we're gonna take care of it within a small steam room with 1 steam engine. Everything will be automated and connected together. So we also need the space for an auto sweeper and such. the weight plate is going to be submerged within water, so the molten gold is immediately going to be converted into small pieces, and then it's going to weigh, and at some point when we have collected enough, we want to pick it up with an auto sweeper. We then also want to check the temperature and have the space for a pump. We want to have the space for a vent. Interestingly enough, on Crew Deal, right now I have an overheat problem that I would like to take care of. So what I'm gonna do is actually install this bottle emptier. I'm gonna do it right here in the back. And I'm gonna combine this with a mechanized airlock, including a, let's do a cycle sensor. As for the active duration, let's set this to around 15%, and we're gonna set it somewhere in the middle of the day, like right now. So what this is gonna do is open up the door for just a little bit in order for Liam to bring some fresh water over that is gonna cool everything down. And that is just gonna be a temporary solution until we have this module ready and we have moved in. But let's get back to Gloani. Yeah, as suspected, we're almost done here. I want to keep on picking up the materials in order to have this cleaned up, and also we cannot use any liquids in here. That might be a problem. We might have to wait until this thing is dormant. I forgot to set the conveyor loader to allow manual use. Of course, that would definitely help. The system here is full. We do not want to waste, so let's reset the amount a couple of times. I want to send over, let's say, 2 or 3 tons. And we are just gonna keep on shooting. Ah, man, I love this thing. This always makes me so happy. And then we can see on the star map, they do not take long at all to actually arrive on Gloani. Let's check this out. Yeah, there is the first one landing in the perfect spot. Well, it wasn't the first one, but you get the basic gist. Now Hassan just has to bring them to the payload opener, which he's gonna do after he did all of that stuff here at the bottom. Let's also sweep up. Wonderful, it is a fresh new cycle. Let's now get the machinery in the joint. Since I do not have that much space, I'm actually gonna go ahead and place all the machinery that I'm gonna need with the materials that I'm gonna need. Gold amalgam for the liquid pump is gonna be more than enough. We also need a liquid vent. I'm gonna make that out of gold as well. Then let's have a look at the shipping department. We definitely need a auto sweeper. Gonna build this out of copper. We're also gonna need a conveyor loader made out of copper. We're gonna make the conveyor rails out of aluminium. Then we're gonna need at least one thermosensor. And let's see, probably also a shutoff. Oh man, I need to fit a lot of stuff in here. A conveyor shutoff. So we're gonna have one of those. And in this case, we also need a conveyor rail thermosensor. All of that needs to somehow fit in here together with the automation, and the intention is basically to use this as the liquid reservoir. Usually we have the stuff in a liquid reservoir and then cycle it through an aqua tuner and steam turbine system. But this time around, this here is going to be the liquid reservoir, and we're going to use that to actively cool down all of the shebang we get out of the volcano. Let's maybe start with the auto sweeper. We could have that right here. This allows us to place the shutoff and the sensor at the bottom. So I'm gonna do that. We then want to go ahead and connect this with an automation wire. I'm gonna use, do I have aluminium? No, I don't have the refined one. So we're gonna go with copper, but we're gonna send this through a buffer gate because I don't want the auto sweeper to be active all the time or just active for a little bit. Actually active for a little bit, because as soon as we reach a certain amount, then it is gonna be activated, and when it picks it up, then it's gonna be deactivated and it will drop the materials. So all we have to do is set up a buffer gate and that problem is gonna be solved. We might get into trouble with this gate because now I cannot place the conveyor shutoff. Let's maybe do the liquid pump next. We push that towards the side. I think it might be better to turn around the auto sweeper so we can have it face this way. This should allow us to grab the conveyor loader and place it there. Yes, this is actually nice. So we have the space for a liquid vent on top. We can then have our liquid shutoff in this place, and the sensor for it goes right in front. We have to connect the sensor here, of course. And this finally is going to allow us to add a Atmos sensor, maybe there. And this one is going to be connected to the pump, I would say. You know, thinking about it, we might even come up with a better system using 2 Atmos sensors. And could we now use a memory toggle maybe? What is this? Yeah, that is perfect. Sending a green signal to one port is going to activate the pump, and then sending a green signal to the other port is going to deactivate the pump. Can I fit this somehow? Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, I can't even make it out of here with the signal. Maybe I could arrange it differently. I still think it's too exaggerated. I mean, it would just have been a nice gimmick, but it's not really necessary. The intention with the two sensors and the memory toggle would have been so we could have heated up the water to, let's say, 80 degrees and then started to pump things through the aqua tuner, cooling it down to 20 degrees, and then it would stop again, waiting until it is 80 degrees and so on and so forth. Now, with just the one thermosensor, we're basically going to activate it at a certain temperature, let's say 10 degrees is going to be the activation point, and then the pump just stops once the 10 degrees are reached and it's below. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and build the steam room. Let me see, I'm just probably going to make this even, and then this is going to be my steam room here. On the top, we're going to have the steam turbine, at the bottom the aqua tuner set up, the steam room. And then finally, I think I want to make this a little bit longer, and then we just need the space for a power transformer and potentially just a simple liquid lock, temporary one. Yeah, let's get a bottle emptier in here, and then this is going to be my liquid lock, so I can enter the room and basically do everything. I'm already going to do the large power transformer because I'm not 100% sure how I want to do this. Whoops, totally forgot to cancel these builds here on the top. Hassan obviously had to somehow mess it up and is now trapped here, so he does have to spend his free time building, and it's absolutely his fault. We're gonna use some salt water here as a liquid in order to cool the large power transformer, the steam turbine, and also create the liquid lock. You know, since we have the space for it, I'm actually gonna make the room here at the bottom the same size as we have at the top. This is also gonna allow me to set up two aqua tuners in case it is necessary. The buffer gate is already in place. Let's set this to 2 seconds. That should be enough to pick something up and put it into the conveyor loader and then shut off again. I also forgot the automation wire from the Atmos sensor to the pump. But now I think I've got everything. The only thing we still have to take care of is the power, of course. Let's go with the conductive wire first. That's gonna go through the wall, through the bottom, and somewhere here we're also gonna have our aqua tuners. Oh no, I cannot have two aqua tuners with one power transformer. I guess in this case we're gonna reserve all the space we have for some nifty automation in order to reduce the amount of steam, so we always have a high temperature and therefore we can regain as much energy as possible. So what we could do is use the extra space here for a liquid reservoir and some automation. That is going to allow us to redirect the water from the steam turbines into a liquid reservoir and not into the steam room itself in order to make it as hot as possible. One more thing we have to do is the railing. So first it's going to start with the conveyor loader here, and then we're going to take a little tour through the saltwater room. Going to go up, over, through the sensor into the shutoff. If the temperature is right, we want to lead the items out somewhere in the world. For now, I'm just going to put them here, I guess, and then later on we're gonna have an elaborate system in order to ship them to the main planetoid. When the materials are still too hot, they need to take another tour through the water. Now, instead of just going down, I want to make sure that these materials have priority because they are already in the loop cooling down. One way we could easily do that is cut this up, and then we are going to use a bridge to set the priorities. The bridge here will not have priority, the materials coming from the conveyor loader directly, but the materials right here will have priority. So it is a fairly small loop at this point. I think I'm going to make it a little bit longer by going down here and then setting up another bridge. Now this one here is responsible for the priorities. And this way it's gonna spend just a little longer here inside the water and can do the loop. Now, considering this is only spewing out 8.3 kilograms a second for 53 seconds, it's not that bad. I don't even think the first time it is gonna spill over the first eruption. But we'll see. Let's get this built. Alrighty, Hassan has reached the next stage, even with already a bunch of wallpaper, except for this little tile that doesn't have the wallpaper just yet, so the volcano doesn't erupt. but we have access to these rooms with this liquid lock and access to this room with this liquid lock, and the only thing we need to make sure of is that we finish everything we want in the steam room before we continue. You can also see I already pumped out everything, so we have a complete vacuum, and that is going to make things a lot easier. So the next stage is going to be to set up a thermo aqua tuner right there. And I also would like to see a liquid reservoir. Now, this could actually go wrong with the liquid reservoir. I have to check on that. It might be a possibility that this is a bad idea the way I want to utilize it, because it is gonna spend its time in the steam room. But the way I'm gonna automate this, I truly believe it's gonna take a long time to heat up, if ever. I don't think it's actually gonna fail, but it might fail. So maybe let's get concerned with the piping. We can already do the aqua tuner from the sensor here, and then we would go out. We want to cool down this room, so let's just go straight up. We'll have a radiant pipe right there going all the way along. Let's actually not make this out of copper. I want you to be out of iron. So this goes all the way up to this point, and then we go back in. Wait, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a insulated pipe. What else do we need to cool down? Let me think. Yeah, actually nothing really. All we need is to go back into this liquid vent. So it goes back into the room, and then from the pipe it should go into the liquid reservoir. No, that's a lie. The liquid reservoir is its own thing. So it should go down into the sensor. So this is going to be my liquid pipe thermosensor. Let's also do the automation wire for this one. Next up, let's set up the steam turbine. This is why I shipped over a little bit of arm. This is going to be hooked up to the main grid. I might have to change this a couple of times, but let's just try it. We come out of the steam turbine, go down. We then want to check the temperature. I think I'm going to lead this pipe straight over. It's going to be more organized this way. Actually, maybe we first want to go straight down. We could then add a liquid shutoff right there that is going, let me see. Oh no, I cannot go down. So I need to go over, and oh, this is actually perfect. So it lands on the aqua tuner and it's going to cool it down. The shutoff I want to control with a thermosensor that we're going to have right there. We take some automation wire and lead it into the shutoff. So if we have a low temperature, I would like the water from the steam turbine to go into the liquid reservoir. That means we would bypass it and it goes into the reservoir, and then we need to create some kind of a loop. Say we just go straight up and into the end side of this liquid bridge. This is actually perfect, so we will have priority for... No, actually that's not perfect. I need priority for the steam engine. Let me go ahead and move the liquid reservoir over a little bit. Now it's spaced out a little bit better. We can bypass into the reservoir. With the output of the reservoir, we can go straight up, and we need to land somewhere we don't have priority. I guess one easy solution we could do is hop over here and join this liquid bridge. This way they would alternate, but I'm not happy with this. Steam turbine needs to have priority. So instead of directly going down here, we are first going to go over and then down. That means I can hop up here and just use another bridge. Now this line is not gonna have priority over the steam turbine. Good then, let's get all of this built, including another pump down here. I need to get the salt water from somewhere. Initially, let me see, I need to fill up this room here, and then we also want normal water for this room. So we could begin by doing just that in order to fill up the loop here. And then it's just going to drop down into the pool, filling it up. But we want to initiate the process, so wait with that. This is also going to require us to build some unnecessarily long power wires. We already have a pump here inside the water. I just need to make sure it is all pure and clean. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to set up the liquid pipe element sensor together with a liquid vent, a teensy-weensy knot gate, and some automation wire. Come on! One here, one there. Okay, so as long as we detect water, the shutoff is going to be closed, and therefore water is going to be coming our way. And then we can use that in order to fill up, let's see, this room here. I guess we could get started by just filling up the liquid reservoir. That might be the easiest, so we can disassemble the pipe later on. Can we do this easily? I just need to... come on. Okay, another bridge here, and then we can go into the reservoir. Okay, let's give Hassan a little bit of time to finish all of that, and then we see how it looks. From the looks of it, water is already flowing, and also from the looks of it, I already had a filter on this, but now we have it doubled gemoppelt, which is also good. In this case, I would say we're gonna connect this pipe here as well. And now we need to set up this guy. I already did it. It's above 10 degrees because if I'm not mistaken, actually let's check on that. Yeah, the freeze point is minus 7.5 degrees. So 10 degrees should be a safe margin and it's cool enough anyways. Oh, what did I forget here? Well, first of all, we want to pick up that aluminium and then do we not have power? What's the issue? Of course, I'm not using the large power transformer yet. Let's enable the building. I didn't want it to unnecessarily heat up. Also, now that we have access from both sides, I would say we're gonna close this off here. And wait, do I already want this? We need to have water in here ASAP. Oh geez, sometimes please pump, don't do anything so the aqua tuner can shut down before it overheats. Okay, thank you, thank you. Let's maybe wait until the water here is done. We are at 3,800. I would like to see this reservoir completely full actually. Though maybe that is enough, so I can guarantee these pipes are gonna be empty and I can easily disassemble them. Once that's done and the materials are out of the way, I should be able to enable the system, but of course I first would want to close down this room. Said and done, the room is now closed off, which means we can introduce the water, the steam. It is still a vacuum, this liquid reservoir is full. So now all we have to make sure is that the sensors are set correctly. The thermo sensor here I would want to have at a temperature so the steam turbine is at maximum efficiency. Now I can already see a problem. We might want to introduce an ore condition. Let me see. If I set this to above 200 degrees, let's say 195. If we are above that temperature, we want to open up the liquid shutoff so more water is being introduced and therefore we can cool it down. However, what if we are starting to idle and suck out all of the gases and then it just gets input into the liquid reservoir until the room is a complete vacuum? That is something we have to prevent with an atmos sensor. So as soon as we are below a certain atmospheric density, we also want to enable the liquid shutoff. We will check for that density right here in the center. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. And we can connect the wire like so. Looks nifty. That means I'm gonna need access to this room one last time and we are golden. Literally golden in this case. Wait a second. What if we don't need to detect steam but water? That is actually a problem in and of itself. And it's just another failsafe I would like to avoid. What happens if we use another sensor, namely here, a hydro sensor, to detect when there is liquid at the bottom? Because if there's liquid at the bottom, it's gonna be fine. The thermo aqua tuner is gonna be fine. So the conditions need to be not enough steam and also no water before we want to enable the shutoff. Saying it like this made it pretty clear. We need an AND gate. Gonna have that AND gate here. That means we need to cut this line and then set this up like so. So now we have the two conditions here, and that is going to be a pretty handy failsafe. Atmos sensor, let's say we want at least 1,000 grams. That seems not enough. Let's say 5 kilograms of steam is going to be our minimum. Or we can also detect like 50 kilograms of water. If we are above that, it's also fine. No, wait, we want to send a green signal if we drop below that mark and if we drop below that thing. No, actually it makes sense. Below 5,000 grams or 5 kilograms and below 50 kilograms of water. If both of these conditions are true, then we want to implement more water through the steam vent. Okay, now we can finally close this off and be done with it. Time to hook this back up again. It goes... No, jeez, what am I doing? I need to hook this up, right? Let me save the game. So now we are basically gonna introduce the salt water into this room, and it should only activate, well, once the thermosensor here has a certain temperature. Let's say once it is above the 10 degrees, because that's what we also have set with the thermosensor here. However, for now, I only want to fill up this area here until we are overpressured, and that should then be enough liquid to get the machine going. Okay, now we can see the conditions are still true here. We are detecting now almost 50 kilograms of water, so this should send a red signal, and therefore, let me see. Yeah, the shutoff is actually disabled, and we also haven't reached any temperatures. Right now the steam is going down, but we still have enough water, so there's no new water incoming. Now once we have this at a decent temperature, I believe we can keep the steam turbine going for quite a while, because the only thing that's really important is that we are near the 200 degrees for the maximum power efficiency. There we go, we are now slowly getting the steam. We are already above the pressure we actually need, and the reason I filled up an entire liquid reservoir for this tiny loop is because I want this to always stay at a decent temperature here and not go above the 100 degrees and evaporate or something worse. There it is, the aqua tuner is getting up to temperature, and now the steam is actually going to be sucked out and it is going into the reservoir. So we will be losing a little bit of steam, and therefore it's going to be easier for the aqua tuner to heat up the room. You can already see we're down to 17.5 kilograms from the initial 21 or so we had. And the thermo aqua tuner is getting hotter, and as soon as we have reached a temperature here of 195, we will be introducing new water. Let's actually bring this up to 200 degrees. I don't see a reason why not to. We want this thing here at full efficiency. It's still not gonna replace the power of the aqua tuner, but at least it's gonna make up for a lot of it. We are down to 8 kilograms right now and 180 degrees. Steam is still going down, and now we have reached the 200 degrees, which means new water should be incoming very shortly. There we go, and it is shutting off again. Okay, we don't want to lose too much power. Okay, that is actually pretty decent. We're keeping it at like 6 or 8 degrees. Now, I believe me having the cold water here in the joint might be a little counterintuitive, and that could be a problem to keep things up to temperature, but I'm gonna leave this running. Right now I feel like this is a little bit fail-proof, and we can now start to enable the system here. I'm gonna wait for enough liquid to drop to actually fill up the top row here as well with half, if not the entirety of the tile. Yeah, I feel like we have to work with higher temperatures. I'm gonna go up to 225 degrees with the sensor here at least. You know what? We forgot maybe some temp shift plates. Yeah, that would probably have been really good. You know, just a little temp shift plate here, another one there, so we could decently distribute the temperature. It is fluctuating quite a bit, but it is a lower temperature than I would like. So maybe let's go down to 2000 grams. We only want 2 kilograms instead of the 5. Okay, I feel like we have enough liquid in here. Let's cut this up. And I can take out this pipe as well. Okay, the rest we're gonna need. Now we only need to activate the system. Let's do that. And the pump should be activating because the liquid here is at 17 degrees and not 10 degrees. So in between the dormant phases, we want to bring this all the way down to 10 degrees. As for the conveyor loader, this is just gonna be everything right, but not manual use. And as for the weight plate, let's go with 50 kilogram packets, or maybe, yeah, let's do 100 kilogram packets. If we are above that, we want to pick it up with the auto sweeper and do one load of cooling. You know what? We're still not reaching the temperatures. I'm gonna go down to 500 grams. Just a very tiny amount. Yeah. Come on, give me. Nope. Yeah. But we're getting closer now. At least the temperature is raising better. I cannot trick the steam turbine. At some point it is just shutting off, not having enough. Let's do 1000 grams and just stick with that. Okay, now I would be sealing this off and we should be ready for... I guess we better wait for it to become dormant, analyze it, and then the next time it goes. And this guy here is already dormant, so we could go ahead and rebuild this design, hopefully a little bit quicker. But yeah, I guess at this point I would be willing to activate it and get that gold. Where's it landing? Right here. At what temperature? That's not good. Let's say if we are if we are below 50 degrees, then we want to use the shutoff, which in this case means we go right up. So we will be receiving materials at a nice cozy 50 degrees temperature if everything works out. Great, with that out of the way, I would say we're gonna wrap it up for today with the build, and hopefully the next time we get to see it in action a little bit. I'm really tempted to wait for the dormant phase so we can properly analyze it, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Let me know what you think about this. Will it hold up? I'm really curious. But thank you so much for watching, have a great time, and hopefully I'm going to catch you in the next episode. Bye bye.